Hello, hello, hello! I'm back! Listen, the gaps between videos are gonna get shorter and shorter and shorter until it's gonna be seconds in between uploads. I'm already lying. That's a lie. But listen, I played the demo for Monster Hunter Stories 3, and I just recently played through almost all of the first game. And by God, have they made some insane improvements, and I want to talk about it. And let me just say this off rip, second best demo I've ever played. If you're wondering what number one is, it's Final Fantasy 16. Nothing will ever touch that, but this came as close as you could get. Now, I'm gonna talk about these things I noticed in order of when I noticed them for the most part, and I'll splice in footage of me playing. There's a new physics engine. Now, how did you notice this, you might ask? Well, Ogden's hair, of course. Bro, his hair has physics. Am I tripping?
Best in each other.
How wonderful! Speaking as a writer, I truly admire that.
It does.
I've never experienced.
Let's talk about the character creator. Now, I was struggling. I was trying to make a cool looking dude. You know, I'm a dude. Might as well play as a dude, right? Well, I couldn't make one. And so I thought, okay, let me venture over to the female side of things. Not that I'm transitioning. I'm talking about the character creator. You know that already because you're not brain dead. So I'm sorry for over explaining. I could have cut this out in editing, but as you can see, I didn't. Now, I went over to the woman side of things, and by God, am I glad I did. I made what can only be described as a Van Gogh painting in video game character creator form. It's a work of art, a masterpiece, my magnum opus for now, surpassing Stardew Valley episode 3, those who know. Anyways, I like looking at nice things. Sue me, okay? And they allowed me to make a very nice looking, beautiful, majestic woman and name her after my wife, Cheywan. All right, those who know. You know, can I self-glaze a little bit? Just a few months ago, it was September, and I buzzed my head, and I was chopped as hell. And now, real-life Cheywan would be lucky to have me. One flex for the one time. I really should take my own life, but not until Monster Hunter 3 Stories comes out. Said that wrong. And I'm not gonna redo it. Wait, you think I redo? Bitch, I'm reading out. You see this shit? I just wrote down a ton of shit. Is my handwriting bad? Yes or no? Art style. Bro, this is one of the things that got me the most hype when I saw that initial trailer. I love looking at nice things, as I said. This is why art style and soundtrack are so important to me, because they can make a massive impact. Final Fantasy 16, we talked about it earlier. What made such a massive impact on me from that game, one of many things, was the soundtrack. And I would say that might have been the standout. That and hype moments and aura. I mean, that's what the whole game is, but good story and characters too. This isn't a video about Final Fantasy 16. If you want that, leave a comment. Leave a comment. Put an animation right there. Anyways, the art style is beautiful. And the monsters look fantabulous. Now, you get the Rathalos off rip. In the first game, it took a little bit. You got him, and then you could use them in battle. You could ride them. In this one, for some reason, you cannot fly. I think you'll unlock that after the demo. It seemed like it was heading towards that direction. The Palico is much worse. Much worse. Annoying ass voice.
Your Highness!
Oh, hell no. No, the fucking Palico voice, dude. Looks dumb as hell. The first Palico, or the Palico in the first game was a G. He was a G pimp. Those who know that storyline, not many people do. I'm sure that's a fucking 3DS game I'm talking about, but it was the only mildly interesting part of that story. It's a game made for kids. It was on the 3DS. I mean, now there's a character named Korra. She breaks my immersion because her thighs are extremely wide. And I'm not even a big thigh guy. I'm not one of those guys, not one of those goth mommy sit on me kind of guys. I'm not that, okay? I only say that to be clear. This isn't about like me googly eyed at that shit. It genuinely breaks my immersion and it pisses me off a little bit. I drop my pencil. As someone who talks with my hands, it's nice to have something like a pencil to hold in it. Pause, question mark? Also, she's named after a shitty show, you know? Or she shares the same name as a main character of a shitty show. Yes, I'm talking about Legend of Korra. You will never, ever touch Avatar: The Last Airbender. Can we focus on the task at hand? Nice little touch caution icons. In the first game, I ran into Pink Rathian, and it said I was the right star level. So I was like, oh, I'll take this man on. Or woman. I got my ass beat. So that's a nice addition. Just mention that. Throw it out there. All right, now let's get into the meat and potatoes. Did you like that? Meat and potatoes? I don't know if you've ever heard that before. If you ever use it, though, because it is a good saying, just make sure to shout me out if you heard it from me. If you already knew, you don't gotta shout me. Now the combat, this is where the massive improvements were made. In the first game, let me describe it a little bit. It's like rock, paper, scissors, right? There are 3 types of attacks: technical, power, and speed. Power beats technical, technical beats speed, speed beats power. Now, in the first game, a monster would have 2 different moves they would use, and they'd use them at random. The only way you could control it is if you commanded them to use a skill. The problem with the skill is there's something called a double attack. And if you and your monster use a speed attack on a monster that's using a power attack on you, you'll get a double attack, and you'll both attack, you'll hit the monster for a bunch of damage, and you won't take any damage. I forgot to say I use a speed attack on the monster, one-on-one, I'll win the head-to-head, but I'll still take a little damage. So double attack prevents that. Now in this game, your monster only uses 1 attack, so Rathalos uses power, and you can command them to use a skill. It will always be a power attack, and that counts towards the double attack. That makes it so much better. I can't even describe to you how much better. I just did describe to you, didn't I? Moving on. Now, we're talking about skills, right? We're talking about monster skills, but what about my skills? Well, in the first game, there's something called the kinship gauge, and when it fills up, you ride your monster, and then you can build up the gauge and then use a big attack, right? Well, my skills and the monster skills would use up the kinship gauge. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if the monster's skills still use kinship gauge, but my skills do not. They use stamina, so I have a separate stamina bar now for skills. That's so much better. It should have been in since the beginning, but I didn't even think about it, so goated. You also have 3 weapons. I'm guessing you can swap them out. In the demo, I had a greatsword, hunting horn, and a bow. That is so sick. Now you can use 3 different types of damage: blunt, piercing with the bow, and then slashing with the sword. That's sick. Oh, and they each have their own mechanics. So the greatsword, you can build up some power gauge or something. The bow, you can use tipped arrows, you know, that kind of thing. I forgot what ammo coating. I didn't use the bow much in the games, but you get what I'm saying. Before, the stagger was kind of unpredictable. Like, you know, you'd stagger them after using your rider super attack, your kinship attack. But besides that, the stagger was kind of unpredictable. Now it is. They have these heart things under their health bar, and you deplete them. And if it's a regular monster, it'll just get stunned. If it's another, like a special type of monster like Feral, which we'll get to, its attacks are less accurate. And then you can deplete that gauge, and then it'll get staggered. So it basically has 2 gauges. Monsters get enraged now, which switched up their attacks. It just adds an extra layer to battle. Sick. You also have companions, I guess, now. In the first game, it was just you and your monster. Now, I guess you have someone with you and their monster. You don't control them, but when you use your kinship attack, it uses theirs as well, and you do like a double attack. It's cool, I guess, as long as the companion isn't annoying as shit or someone trying to steal your girl. Fuck you, Simon. Oh, amazing feature. Cinco Rush. Not all-out attack from Persona. I don't know why you would ever think that. But when you stagger the monster and it's on the ground, you can use a Cinco Rush. So you, your monster, your companion, and your companion's monster all just jump that man. Let him get up. Let him get up. You know, that's what I'm saying. So that's awesome. I love that feature in Persona, and I love it here. Your hearts recover after battle. Thank God. In the first game, I would battle, right? If I lost a heart or 2, I'd have to fast travel somewhere and then fast travel back, and that would heal my hearts. I don't know if there was a better way to do it, but that's what I did, and it was annoying. And this game has feral monsters, which are like regular monsters with crystallized parts, and they have specific mechanics that you have to work around to kill the monster or break the crystals and then kill it. It's cool. It's cool. It's in the first game they had something similar with Blight, just a special monster basically, but feral is way better. You actually have to think during the battle. Blight just made them attack harder, I guess. There are also honed monsters. They have like armor and they're cool. So I don't know much about them yet. I only fought one and it wasn't too crazy. It wasn't too different. So we'll see what happens in the full game. Oh. You can also suspicious cut. What changed? Okay, wait. Okay. No. God, it's actually hot, bro. Turn the lights down. I said, ooh. So you can use melee and ranged attacks on your monster in the open world, or not open world, but in the overworld. Now this means you can shoot down flying monsters, which will let you do a preemptive strike on them and get a free turn before the fight, which is super sick. And it also allows you to kill lower level monsters in the overworld without having to go into turn-based battle, which is sick. And it's a feature from Metaphor. I don't know if they, I'm not making any accusations here. It's a good feature. It's a good one to take inspiration from. But even if you run into a monster and you're in a turn-based battle, you can quick finish, which I didn't even notice in the demo, but you just hold like left stick and right stick and then you just whoop its ass, I guess. Sick. You get XP from gathering. Sick. It was kind of annoying to level up in the first game, especially yourself, because you could send your monsters out and they would get XP on these expedition things, like AFK kind of thing, but you couldn't do that, so sick. You can also roar. Roaring scares monsters away. When you collect Poogies, they give you trade tickets, an actual reward for collecting things. Love that. So there are these things called dens, right? And you go into a den, you get an egg from a monster, you take it out, you hatch it, then you have the monster. In the first game, you had to go through this kind of long cave system and then find the nest, and then you'd be able to get out. And this one, it seems like you just walk in and the eggs are there. I don't know how I feel about that. What I do like is the dens they can have special things happen. So say you walk in and there are multiple dens, so you can get multiple eggs, or you walk in and the den has unlimited eggs. Normally it has a limited amount of eggs you can pull out to get the one you wanted. I do like this actually because it comes in handy with something else I'll talk about. I guess I'll just talk about it now. Actually, I won't. You can fast travel from anywhere instead of having to go to a caravan stand. Awesome. Now, you can fast travel to any unlocked fast travel point from anywhere. So you can actually initiate the fast travel from anywhere. Awesome. Quality of life. Gems seem like they're easier to get the ones you wanted, so build crafting is going to be way better. Sick. Suspicious cut. Okay, here we go. So after beating a feral monster, you camp out and you can cook to increase like health or XP gain. You can also hatch monsters there, which is cool. But the coolest thing is, right, there's this thing called invasive monsters. Now, it's like a stealth mission where you pick up their tracks to learn what their weakness is, and then you battle the monster and you attack their weakness, making it retreat. It retreats to a den. You go into the den, you find an endangered monster or a rare monster. Now you take that monster, right? You can keep it, but you could also release it into the wild. The more you release, the more that monster will appear in the wild, and the more its eggs will appear, and the better its eggs will be, which is so cool because now if you want, say, Ray Dow, which is like probably the best monster from Wilds, shout out Arkveld though, you can find a Ray Dow, release it, build up the population, and get a super stacked Ray Dow and use it. That is so sick. Before it was just pretty much random, like luck of the draw, but now you can actually use it to, you understand how it works. I just explained it, but it's sick. And I didn't think about that feature at all. It was just sprung on me near the end of the demo, and that is one of the most exciting new features to me now. There are also dual element monsters. So Tobi-Kadachi, which is normally lightning or thunder element, can have fire and thunder, which is sick. So there are variants, just more variety. Who doesn't love more variety? And last but not least, one of the things I'm most excited for is the new monsters. Now, at the end, they showed a little trailer, and I've seen this trailer before, but after playing that demo, it got me even more hype watching it. Magna Malo, what an amazing monster. Seeing him in the trailer is one of the things that made me most excited for this game. When I first saw it, he looks absolutely amazing with this art style, and the fact that they have the Wilds monsters in too, Ray Dow and Arkveld, just discovering them last year and fighting them and having them already be some of my favorite monsters. So to go from that to already being able to use them in a stories game is just getting me extremely excited. So I had this lower on my list when I made my top 10 most anticipated games. I mean, that list wasn't too, like, I didn't think too much about the order. I just kind of wrote them down. It's up there. It is up there now. It's near the top for sure. I mean, that and Control Resonant are going head to head. I honestly just didn't expect this many improvements from it. This is such a massive jump because I basically only know one. So it's going from 1 to 3. It's a massive jump. And I was a little worried about the combat system because I didn't think they could make it that complex. I thought they would have to. I almost wanted them to get rid of the rock, paper, scissors aspect altogether because I didn't think they could make it into that engaging of a combat system. But boy, was I wrong, and I'm so happy to be wrong. I would suggest you play the demo if you're into turn-based games, monster collecting kind of things. I have a hard time believing you wouldn't enjoy it. It ran well too. Honestly, I can't say enough good things about this. There was like, I have close to no negative things to say about it besides that bitch ass cat and its annoying ass voice. But I don't know how to end this. Leave a comment if you have any suggestions. And yeah, thanks for watching. One last mog for the road. One last flex too. Should I just end the video?